A while back, I made this video all about cross-stitch tools and accessories, what the absolute essentials are versus what's worth investing in versus what's actually more of a luxury and not needed unless you have the money to spare. Obviously those categories are kind of subjective, so it was really interesting to see your takes down in the comments on that video, although thankfully no serious fallings out occurred. What did occur, although I didn't know it at the time, was one of the most thoughtful things I think anybody has ever done for me. And it's led me to this video, Cross-Stitch Tools and Accessories Part 2. As you may know, because to be honest I've talked about literally nothing else lately, I had a big milestone birthday at the end of May. And knowing this was coming up, a stitchy friend who you may know as Stitch26 on various socials contacted me asking if she could send me a birthday gift. She's also asked to be referred to by screen name only in this video, so Stitch26 it is. Now, I knew part of what she was sending, and we'll get to that bit later, but mostly it was going to be a total surprise. I just had to patiently wait while this package slowly winged its way over from America, and it got stuck in customs for a while, and we were both like just frantically refreshing the page every day to see if the tracking had updated, and she was giving me no clues about what was in there. But eventually, it made it. I was so excited. Thankfully, she did give me permission to open it straight away, otherwise I'd have been a mess if I had to wait until my actual birthday. And here we have it. This cute blue zip bag that was clearly stuffed with some kind of goodies or other. With only the mildest of trepidation, I opened the bag. The first thing I pulled out was this pack of snag repair tools, which was already exciting because I do often curse not having one of these. And then I pulled out this thread magic, and I knew immediately what the theme of this gift was. Remember all those little bits and pieces of accessories that I called out as nice to have but not actually essential? Yeah, Stitch26 has been watching my videos for a while now, and over apparently the last few months, she's just been quietly making a note whenever I mention one of these things that would be nice to have, and collecting them all together to make a birthday package just full of new toys. Just how incredibly thoughtful and personal a gift is that? It's amazing! I am so lucky to have met such brilliant people through crafting and through my videos. I just honestly can't believe it. I know you'll be watching this, and I did thank you a lot at the time, and also last week as well, but I'm thanking you again now. This honestly just blew me away. Without further ado then, let's see what else was in this bag. The snag repair tools are exactly what they sound like. You use them to sort of poke any loose or messy threads through from the front of your fabric to neaten them up. And they're also useful for making space to get the needle through on very dense full coverage projects. It's going to be very useful on autumn stories because the back of that project is the stuff of nightmares. Thread Magic is a conditioner for your embroidery floss that makes it smoother and generally more pleasant to work with. In the previous tools and accessories video, I talked about how some people use this and some people prefer beeswax. And so, in the interests of science, she's only gone and sent me both to try. A few people on the last video did say these were mostly useful on metallics, which is quite exciting to me because at the moment, I mostly just avoid metallics due to them being what we'd call around here a complete faff. One of the other luxury accessories we mentioned last time was a laying tool to help your cross stitches lay nice and flat and tidy. So of course, yep, that's in here too. This is actually a multi-purpose tool that I already know I can use for a handful of other things as well. And if you're struggling to picture how it works, here's a video Stitch26 actually made herself to demonstrate. Ooh. Tail weavers! If you joined us for 24 hours of cross-stitch in April, you might know a few of us used the weekend to stage a sort of self-intervention and try to stop playing quite so much floss chicken. Which of course is when you continue stitching right to the end of your floss so as not to waste it, and you end up spending 3 times as long trying to weave in the resulting tiny short end. Well, it's more tempting than it might sound, okay? But tail weavers to the rescue! These stitch correctors I don't think I specifically mentioned at any point because frankly I did not know they existed. There's 2 in the pack, 3 and 5mm, and if you can see they're like crochet hooks at one end and knitting needles at the other. I usually carry around my entire roll of crochet hooks just in case I need to fix something, and often, especially with lace projects, I find myself using a combination of a crochet hook in one hand and the knitting needle in the other to sort of pick up and fix any errors. So having those both in one? It is going to be a game changer, I'm calling it now. What else? Ooh, yeah, you thought I was excited about the stitch correctors. Check this out. It's a light up needle threader. Honestly, I can't really remember what was said about needle threaders last time. I do use them. I have some cheap ones that constantly break. And just before this package turned up, I was actually talking to my friend Marie about getting some better ones. And then this. Right now, I've no idea how it works exactly. There's a retractable something, and it looks like a built-in thread cutter on the side. Yeah, I'm super intrigued to try this out, and it clearly plans to become invaluable to me because it's even got a little lanyard hole so you can wear it about your person at all times. We did of course talk about needle minders last time because everyone loves needle minders. They're the perfect blend of genuinely practical and useful, but also pretty and fun to match with the aesthetics of your project. This is part of a set that she and husband sound like they had a lot of fun making. It's steampunk, I've mentioned before how much I like ladybirds, it's brilliant. A very welcome addition to the ever-growing needle minder collection. A scissor sharpener! I have genuinely never used anything like this before, and I'm so full of that kind of enthusiastic new toy joy. The scissors that I generally use for cross-stitch are nothing special, but I've had them basically forever and I'm very attached. So if I can give them a longer life, I will be very chuffed. Last couple of things, there is this tiny little needle tin which is incredibly cute. I love the design on this, and it'll be a lot better than the somewhat haphazard way I generally just throw all my tapestry needles and stuff into this pouch willy-nilly. What I'm not quite sure about is whether there's anything inside of this or if it's just the tin, so I'm going to have to open this one and double check. Here is me trying in vain to take the lid off. Yeah, it turns out you slide it. Makes sense though, no separate lid is one less thing to misplace. This is actually going to be really useful. I've got plenty of bits and pieces flailing loose that will find a much better home in here. Maybe I'll stop losing so many tapestry needles? We can but hope. And last but certainly not least, a thing that, again, I didn't know was a thing, but she just saw them and apparently thought I might find them interesting. These are bright little lights. You just click them on and off with this button and, okay, hang on, because I looked directly at them and now I can't see. But on the other side, they've got these sticky patches so they can be attached somewhere. And after a brief investigation, based on the Lux Pro branding on the side there, I think they're actually waterproof as well, which is pretty cool. I knew what these were going to be used for straight away. Our house is kind of dark in general, but there's a couple of shelves that, especially at night, I find myself rummaging around on, essentially blind. Including this bottom shelf next to my crafting couch. At night, trying to find anything in these boxes is quite a palaver. But not if you have a little torch attached under the lip here and you just have to press it on. Brilliant! Just a seemingly random little accessory that is honestly going to be a big quality of life improvement in a very specific way. So that's about it, other than the bag itself, which you probably noticed straight away, but I in my initial excitement did not, even has a cross-stitchable section on this pocket here. Every couple of years I feel like there's a new round of the trend where everyone gets excited to stitch on something. It's often bags like this. One time I think it was a certain brand of shoes that just happened to have really convenient holes, and I've never been able to join in with this trend until now. Not exactly sure what I'll put there, but it's gonna be fun finding out. So this video is, like I said, cross-stitch tools and accessories part 2A. Because now I've got all these shiny new toys, clearly the next step is to play with them and find out just how great they are, then report back. And given how many tool-specific questions you all asked in the comments on the last video, I figured you probably have some specific questions about these as well. Let me know what those questions are and I can bear them in mind while I'm testing all of this stuff out and make sure I find out exactly what it is you want to know. Alternatively, of course, I'll just have a play and then report back with a waffling stream of consciousness, as per usual. Just one more thing then before we go. You might recall at the start of the video I said there was one more thing included in this package that I did already know about. Basically, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I kind of have fan art now. I knew she was working on designing a cross-stitch pattern based on me and the channel and our shared love of making and crafting. And along with the bag of goodies there, she also sent the supplies to start stitching this up. I sadly couldn't get started on that straight away, but I am going to make it a priority after our honeymoon in July because I know exactly where it's going to hang and it's going to look great. Fun fact, not actually the first fan art I've received, although the other one was intended to be a private gift and I will respect that, but still. Life is weird. Alright, that is about it for today, so I just want to say again how grateful I am to Stitch 26, not just for this amazing birthday gift, but also for permission to turn it into a video, because gifts are not necessarily meant to be content, but I do think these accessory videos are fun, and I know a lot of people like the last one, so hopefully this one can be just as useful. Of course, I also want to thank everyone who supports me in the channel over on Ko-fi, and especially the Stitch Squad, who you can personally blame every time you see my stupid face show up in your recommendations. Mary Ann Johnson, Sunny, Candy Riley Pettinger, Laura Sellerts, Enlightened Flamingo, Cross Stitch the Globe, I'd Rather Be Stitching, Angela Sue Harrison, Emily Hobbs, Maria Midnight Crafting, Lee the Cozy Crafter, and Asta Vinka. I'll be back soon with some more crafty nonsense, so in the meantime, have a brilliant rest of your day and keep making cool stuff. Bye!